Merging Life and Money Show, the live podcast dedicated to helping professional women achieve financial wellness by merging the emotional and practical sides of money. I am your host, Marie-Jo César, and today I have an important topic to discuss. This week, on June 19th, America and African Americans all over the world celebrated Juneteenth. And although I am not American or African American for that matter, I would be remiss if I did not do an episode focusing on this special day. I will delve deep into the historical tapestry of Juneteenth and unravel its far-reaching economic implications. Juneteenth holds a significant place in American history as it marks the celebration of freedom and emancipation. But beyond its historical significance, Juneteenth has far-reaching economic implications that continue to shape the financial wellness of African Americans today. I will explore the untold stories behind Juneteenth's emergence and the challenges faced by newly freed slaves during the journey to freedom. I will also uncover how African American entrepreneurs defied the odds during the Reconstruction era and examine the obstacles they encountered along the way. Throughout this discussion, I will shed light on how Juneteenth influence extends into modern-day financial wellness, emphasizing the importance of financial education and empowering the African American community. Welcome to the Merging Life and Money Show. Let us discover together how awareness and action can contribute to economic empowerment within marginalized communities. So grab your headphones or tune in from wherever you are as we are about to embark on this enlightening exploration of the historical impact of Juneteenth and its economic implications, right here on the Merging Life and Money Show. But before we start, make sure to follow me on social media for updates on upcoming episodes and engage with me using the hashtag Merging Life and Money. Now, let's get started. Juneteenth is a significant date in American history that commemorates the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. It marks the day when news of the Emancipation Proclamation reached Galveston, Texas on June 19, 1865, 2.5 years after it was issued by President Abraham Lincoln. This delayed communication meant that thousands of African Americans remained enslaved and unaware of their freedom. The historical significance of Juneteenth lies in its representation of freedom, resilience, and the ongoing struggle for equality. It serves as a reminder of the long-lasting impact of slavery in the United States and highlight the importance of recognizing and addressing systemic racial injustices. In this podcast episode, I will explore the economic implications associated with Juneteenth. I will explore the challenges faced by newly freed slaves during their journey to freedom and examine the economic struggles they encountered. Additionally, I will discuss how Juneteenth influenced the Reconstruction era's Reconstruction era emergence of Black-owned businesses and institutions. I truly believe that by understanding this historical context, you can recognize Juneteenth's influence on modern-day financial wellness. I will also explore how financial education plays a crucial role in empowering the African American community economically. And furthermore, I will showcase successful American entrepreneurs who have been inspired by this history. Slavery, an institution deeply rooted in American history, has left a profound and enduring impact on the United States. Its legacy continues to shape society today, permeating various aspects of American life. The brutal enslavement of millions of African Americans had devastating consequences that extend far beyond the period it was legally practiced. I will add that the long-lasting impact of slavery is evident in the persistent racial inequalities and disparities that exist today. Centuries of forced labor, dehumanization, and systemic discrimination have resulted in significant economic, social, and political disadvantages for African Americans. These injustices are ingrained in the fabric of this nation's history and still contribute to ongoing challenges faced by marginalized communities. Moreover, slavery has influenced cultural dynamics, shaping notions of race, identity, and power struggle within American society. It has impacted educational opportunities, access to healthcare and housing, criminal justice system, and overall socioeconomic mobility. Recognizing this historical context is crucial for understanding how the causes of inequality are working toward our future. In this podcast episode, I will address three key areas that shed light on this important topic. Firstly, I will examine the Emancipation Proclamation and the Freedom Journey. I will provide background information on President Abraham Lincoln Emancipation Proclamation and discuss the challenges faced by African Americans during their journey to freedom. Additionally, I will explore the economic struggles encountered by newly freed slaves as they sought to establish themselves in a society that was far from equal. Secondly, I will dive into the Reconstruction era and African American entrepreneurship. This period, spanning from 1865 to 1877, witnessed the emergence of Black-owned businesses and institutions. However, these entrepreneurs had to overcome significant obstacles such as racial discrimination and segregation. I will uncover their stories of resilience and explore how they paved the way for future generations. And lastly, I will examine Juneteenth's influence on modern-day financial wellness. I'll emphasize the importance of financial education within the African American community and discuss how Juneteenth promotes financial empowerment and wealth building opportunities. Moreover, I will showcase examples of successful African American entrepreneurs who have been inspired by this history. And by exploring these main points throughout this episode, I aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of Juneteenth's historical impact and how it reverberates in contemporary society. Well, now that I have set the stage, let's explore the first point of today's episode, the Emancipation Proclamation and the Freedom Journey. I will look at President Abraham Lincoln Emancipation Proclamation and the arduous challenges faced by African Americans as they embarked on their journey to freedom. I will also uncover the impact of this pivotal moment in history and shed light on the economic struggles experienced by newly freed slaves. President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, issued on January 1st, 1863, was a watershed moment in America's history. This executive order declared that all slaves held within Confederate territory were to be set free. While it did not immediately free all slaves in the United States, it marked a significant turning point in the fight for abolition and set the stage for further progress. So before issuing the proclamation, President Lincoln faced immense political pressure and deliberation. He recognized that slavery was core of the Civil War, and by targeting the institution itself, He aimed to weaken the Confederacy and undermine their labor force. Additionally, Lincoln proclamations sought to redefine the purpose of the war as one centered around freedom and equality. However, it is important to note that while the Emancipation Proclamation declared freedom for enslaved individuals within Confederate territory, its immediate impact was limited due to logistical challenges and lack of enforcement power in areas beyond Union control. The true realization of freedom for enslaved African Americans would come later with events like Juneteenth. Nonetheless, President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation had profound symbolic significance. It represented a crucial step toward dismantling slavery as an institution and provided hope for millions who yearn liberation from bondage. And as I delve deeper into this point, I will not only explore this historic proclamation, but also examine the difficult journey toward freedom that African Americans faced during this transformative period in American history. It is a fact that the issuance of President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation marked a critical turning point in the fight against slavery. However, for African Americans, the path to freedom was filled with immense challenges and obstacles that extended well beyond the announcement of their emancipation. I will address specifically 5 of them. Escape from bondage. Escaping the clutches of slavery was a treacherous and perilous undertaking. Many enslaved individuals risked their lives by attempting to flee plantation in search of freedom. They often relied on networks like the Underground Railroad, which consisted of sympathetic individuals who provided shelter and guidance along secret routes leading to free states or even to Canada. 2, pursued by slave catchers. Enslaved individuals who sought freedom faced constant threat from slave catchers hired by plantation owners to recapture and return them to bondage. These chase and capture missions forced escapees to remain vigilant, constantly evading capture while navigating through unfamiliar terrains. 3, harsh living conditions. Even after successfully escaping enslavement, African Americans face dire circumstances as they transition into free territories or sought refuge in Union-controlled areas during the Civil War. Lack of resources, limited shelter options, and inadequate support systems made survival a daily struggle for many. 4, discrimination and prejudice. Despite being legally freed by the Emancipation Proclamation, African Americans encountered pervasive discrimination and prejudice that hindered their ability to fully enjoy their newfound freedom. Racism persisted in various forms, including the denial of basic civil rights, segregationist policies, and economic exploitation. And 5, economic struggles. After a generation of forced labor without compensation, newly freed slaves confronted significant economic challenges as they sought employment opportunities and financial stability. Limited access to education and training compounded these difficulties, making it hard for many African Americans to secure stable jobs or establish sustainable livelihoods. Understanding these challenges helps us grasp the immense courage and determination exhibited by African Americans in their pursuit of freedom. The journey to emancipation was not a linear or easy one by any stretch of the imagination. but it laid the foundation for future strides toward equality. And as we move forward, let us explore the economic struggles faced by newly freed slaves as they endeavored to rebuild their lives and communities in the aftermath of slavery's abolition. The issuance of the Emancipation Proclamation brought about profound changes in the legal status of enslaved African Americans. However, it also presented significant economic challenges for those who were suddenly thrust into freedom without access to resources or support systems. I will now explore the economic struggles faced by newly freed slaves as they thought to build lives and communities after generations of forced labor. 1. Lack of financial resources. Upon gaining their freedom, many African Americans found themselves with little to no financial resources. Slavery had denied them the opportunity to accumulate wealth, leaving them economically vulnerable. So without savings or assets, they struggled to meet basic needs such as food, clothing, and shelter. 2. Limited job opportunities. The transition from slavery to paid employment was not easy for newly freed slaves. They faced limited job opportunities due to widespread racism and discriminatory practices that persisted even after emancipation. Many former slaves were relegated to low-paying jobs with few prospects for advancement, perpetuating what I would say, or the word I'm looking for, a cycle of economic disadvantage. Okay. 3, land ownership and sharecropping. Owning land was often seen as a pathway to economic independence and stability. However, access to land ownership was out of reach for most African Americans due to discriminatory laws and practices that favored white landowners. As a result, many former slaves became sharecroppers, working on land owned by others in exchange for a portion of their crops or profit. 4, exploitative labor arrangement. The exploitative labor arrangements prevalent during slavery continued in different forms following emancipation. Convict leasing and peonage subjected many African Americans to conditions akin to slavery, where they were forced into debt bondage or unjust labor contracts with little agency or fair compensation. 5, lack of educational opportunities. Education was instrumental in breaking the cycle of poverty and achieving economic mobility. However, access to quality education was severely limited for African Americans in the post-emancipation era. Illiteracy rate remained high, denying them, I would say, the necessary skills and knowledge to compete in an increasingly industrialized economy. These economic struggles underscored the immense challenges faced by newly freed slaves as they thought to establish themselves in a society that was far from equal. So despite this obstacle, African Americans demonstrated remarkable resilience and resourcefulness, laying the groundwork for future generations to pursue economic empowerment and break free from the shackles of systemic oppression. This will lead us to the second point of today's show, the Reconstruction era and African American entrepreneurship. I will explore how African Americans navigated these hardships and forged path toward economic independence and entrepreneurship. The period following the Civil War, known as the Reconstruction era, played a pivotal role in shaping the lives of newly freed slaves and their pursuit of economic independence. Lasting from 1865 to 1877, this transformative phase thought to rebuild and restructure a nation torn apart by war while addressing the social, political, and economic consequences of slavery. 1. Abolition of slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation set the stage for the complete abolition of slavery in the United States. The ratification of the 13th Amendment in December of 1865 formally abolished slavery through the country, providing legal recognition of African Americans' freedom. 2. Federal intervention and legislation. The federal government enacted several important pieces of legislation during Reconstruction aimed at protecting civil rights and promoting economic opportunities for African Americans. These included the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which granted citizenship and equal protection under the law, as well as laws establishing the Freedmen's Bureau to provide support and assistance to newly freed slaves. 3. Political participation. Reconstruction also saw significant efforts to enfranchise African American men through constitutional amendments, such as the 15th Amendment, which prohibited voter discrimination based on race or color. This led to African American holding political offices at local, state, and federal levels for a brief period, very brief. 4. Black-owned businesses and institutions. One notable outcome of Reconstruction was the emergence of Black-owned businesses and institutions across various sectors. Despite facing immense challenges, such as limited access to capital and discriminatory practices, African American entrepreneurs established enterprises ranging from small shops and trades to larger scale enterprises like banks, newspaper, and schools. 5. Sharecropping. I would say the sharecropping system. While some African American pursued entrepreneurship during this time, many others found themselves caught in an exploitative labor arrangement known as sharecropping. Sharecropping involved working on land owned by others and exchanging a portion of the crop for access to resources. This system often kept African Americans in cycle of debt and limited their economic mobility. 6. Racial violence and backlash. The progress made during Reconstruction was met with strong resistance from white supremacists who sought to reestablish white dominance and suppress African American advancement. Acts of racial violence, intimidation, and the rise of discriminatory laws like Jim Crow undermined the gains made by African Americans during this period. And as you can see, the Reconstruction era presented both opportunities and challenges for newly freed slaves as they navigated their journey toward economic independence. And despite facing significant obstacles, African Americans demonstrated resilience, determination, and entrepreneurial spirit. Their effort laid the foundation for future generations to continue the fight for economic empowerment. And as a result, there was a significant emergence of Black-owned businesses and institutions. African Americans embracing their newfound freedom seized the opportunity to establish their own enterprises, including businesses, schools, churches, and social organizations. These Black-owned businesses played a critical role in not only providing essential goods and services to their communities, but also creating avenues for economic empowerment. The establishment of Black banks, such as Freedmen Savings and Trust Company, provided financial support and resources for aspiring entrepreneurs. However, African American business owners faced numerous obstacles during this time, including racial discrimination and segregation laws that limited their access to resources, market, and customers. So, despite these challenges, right, Black entrepreneurs exhibited remarkable resilience by developing innovative strategies and forming networks within their communities to promote economic growth and success. The rise of thriving Black neighborhoods like Tulsa's Greenwood District, also known as Black Wall Street, showcased the immense potential of these enterprises. The legacy of these Black-owned businesses and institutions continues to inspire present-day effort toward economic empowerment within the African community. So let's look at the obstacle faced by Black entrepreneurs during the Reconstruction era and beyond. Well, they encountered significant obstacles due to racial discrimination, as I mentioned earlier, and segregation. These systemic barriers serve as impediment to their success and limited their access to resources, opportunity, and markets. Racial discrimination was pervasive, with discriminatory practices prevalent in both public and private sectors. Right? Black entrepreneurs often face unequal treatment when seeking loans or credit from financial institutions, making it more challenging for them to secure the necessary funding to start or expand their businesses. They were frequently denied access to capital that could have fueled their entrepreneurial endeavors. Segregation policies further exacerbated the challenges faced by Black entrepreneurs. Jim Crow laws enforced racial segregation, which meant that Blacks were restricted to certain areas and neighborhoods designated for African Americans. This resulted in limited customer bases for Black-owned businesses, since they were primarily serving segregated communities. And moreover, segregation restricted their ability to compete on an equal footing with white-owned businesses operating in predominantly white areas where economic opportunities were often more abundant. It created an uneven playing field where Black entrepreneurs had to navigate through additional hurdles compared to their white counterparts. Despite this obstacle, many Black entrepreneurs demonstrated resilience and resourcefulness in overcoming these adversities. They built strong networks within their communities, supporting one another economically and socially. And additionally, some sought opportunities outside of segregated spaces by catering to Black consumers' needs while also reaching out to broader markets wherever and whenever possible. Overall, the racial discrimination and segregation encountered by Black entrepreneurs during this period hindered their economic progress and potential, but did not deter their determination. Their stories of resilience continue to serve as inspiration for present-day effort toward creating a more inclusive business environment that promotes equal opportunity for all aspiring entrepreneurs, regardless of their ethnicity. And I think, that would lead me then to the third and last point of today's episode. Juneteenth influence on modern day financial wellness. As we reflect on the challenges faced by Black entrepreneurs during the Reconstruction era, it is important to explore how the historical context of Juneteenth intersects with financial education and empowerment within the African American community. The celebration of Juneteenth holds significant meaning, not only as a remembrance of emancipation, but also as a catalyst for for promoting financial empowerment and creating wealth building opportunities. I will then delve into how Juneteenth has played a pivotal role in shaping financial education and inspiring successful African American entrepreneurs in today's society. Financial education plays a crucial role in promoting economic empowerment and financial well-being, doesn't matter what, particularly within the African American community. Historically, systemic barriers such as racial discrimination and limited access to resources have hindered wealth accumulation and economic progress. So, by emphasizing the importance of financial education, Juneteenth served as a platform for fostering awareness and knowledge about personal finance, budgeting, investment, and other essential aspects of financial literacy. It aims to equip individuals with the tools needed to make informed decisions about their finances and build generational wealth. One key aspect of financial education is understanding the impact of historical injustices on current economic disparities. So, by exploring the history of slavery and its enduring consequences, individuals gain insight individual gains insights into how past systems have shaped present-day wealth gap. So this awareness helps foster a deeper understanding of why financial education is necessary to break free from this historical cycle. Furthermore, financial education empowers individuals to navigate complex financial systems, including banking practices, credit management, and investment opportunities. It equips them with the skills needed to make sound financial decisions that can lead to long-term prosperity. In addition to individual benefits, promoting financial education within the African American community contributes to overall economic growth, because when more individuals possess the knowledge and skills necessary for effective money management, it leads to increased entrepreneurship, job creation, and economic stability within the communities. In my opinion, Juneteenth provides an opportunity for various organizations and institutions to collaborate in offering accessible and culturally relevant financial education programs tailored specifically for African Americans. And by leveraging this occasion as a call to action for pursuing financial literacy initiative year-round, collective efforts can help narrow the wealth gap and promote economic empowerment within the community. So, how does Juneteenth promote financial empowerment and wealth building opportunities? Well, I will say that Juneteenth serves as a significant platform for promoting financial empowerment and creating wealth building opportunities within the African American community. And here are several ways in which it works towards achieving these goals. I think financial workshops and seminars. Juneteenth celebration often include workshops and seminars focused on financial education. These sessions provide valuable insights into topics such as budgeting, as I mentioned, investing, home ownership, entrepreneurship, and generational wealth building. By offering practical guidance and resources, Juneteenth events empower individuals to make informed financial decisions and take steps toward long-term economic stability. 2, entrepreneurship support. Juneteenth celebrations frequently showcase and support Black-owned businesses. These events offer a platform for local entrepreneurs to showcase their products or services, gain exposure to wider audiences, and network with potential customers or investors. Moreover, Juneteenth can serve as an opportunity to highlight the importance of supporting Black-owned businesses throughout the year, thereby fostering economic growth within the community. 3. Financial empowerment initiatives. Many organizations leverage Juneteenth to launch or promote programs that focus on financial empowerment within the African American community. This initiative may include mentorship program for aspiring entrepreneurs, scholarships for higher education in finance-related field, or partnership with financial institutions to provide accessible banking options tailored specifically for underserved populations. 4. Investment education. Juneteenth event can also emphasize investment education by featuring speakers or panel discussions on investment strategies, real estate opportunities, retirement planning, and other avenues for wealth creation. This knowledge empowers individuals to make informed investment decisions that have the potential to generate long-term wealth accumulation. 5. Community Wealth Building Project. In line with its historical significance as a celebration of emancipation from slavery, I would say that Juneteenth can inspire collective efforts toward community wealth building projects. These projects may involve initiatives such as cooperative economics model or community investment fund aimed at pooling resources and collectively investing in local businesses, real estate ventures, or education programs. By working together, communities can enhance economic opportunities and create a foundation for long-term financial growth. Because at the end of the day, Juneteenth celebration of freedom and empowerment extend beyond historical remembrance. It serves as a platform to actively address economic disparities and empower individuals with the knowledge, resources, and support necessary for financial success. So through these efforts, Juneteenth contribute to building a more prosperous future for the African American community. And I will end this point by saying that the legacy of Juneteenth and the struggle faced by African Americans throughout history have inspired numerous individuals to overcome barriers and achieve remarkable success as entrepreneurs. And here are some inspiring examples of successful African American entrepreneurs who have been influenced by this history. First one that comes to mind is Madame C.J. Walker. Born into a family of formerly enslaved individuals, Madame C.J. Walker became one of the first self-made female millionaires in the United States. She built her wealth by developing a line of hair care products specifically designed for Black women, establishing a successful business empire in the early 20th century. As an advocate for economic empowerment, she used her platform to empower others through job creation and philanthropy. 2. Reginald F. Lewis, a Harvard-educated lawyer turned entrepreneur. Reginald Lewis was recognized as one of America's top business leaders. He was the founder and CEO of TLC Beatrice International Holdings, Inc., which became the largest Black-owned business in the United States during his time. Overcoming various obstacles, Lewis orchestrated groundbreaking leveraged buyouts that propelled him to success into the food industry. He dedicated his resources to supporting educational initiatives and empowering aspiring entrepreneurs. 3. Oprah Winfrey, a media mogul and philanthropist. Oprah Winfrey, known by most, has had a significant impact on various industries throughout her career. While not exclusively an entrepreneur, she has built an influential brand that encompasses television production, publishing, film, and more. Her journey from a difficult childhood to becoming one of the most influential personality globally showcases resilience and determination in pursuing entrepreneurial endeavors. 4. Damon John, known as for his role on the television show Shark Tank. Damon John is an entrepreneur whose success story resonates with many aspiring business owners today. With humble beginnings, selling homemade hats on the streets of New York City, he went on to found FUBU, For Us, By Us, a highly successful urban clothing line back in the days. His achievement demonstrates the power of hustle, creativity, and a strong entrepreneurial spirit. These examples represent just a few among many African American entrepreneurs who have overcome historical challenges to achieve remarkable success in various industries. Their accomplishment not only inspires others, but also highlight the transformative power of entrepreneurship as a means of economic empowerment within the African American community. By recognizing and celebrating these successes, Juneteenth serves as a reminder of the progress made and encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to pursue their dream, leveraging their unique experiences and heritage to drive innovative and innovation, I should say, and contribute to the economic growth of their communities. And as I explore the story of successful African American entrepreneurs influenced by the historical significance of Juneteenth, it becomes evident that their achievements are not only a testament of their resilience, but also an embodiment of the enduring spirit of economic empowerment. These inspiring examples lay the foundation for the conclusion and call to action, urging you to reflect on the importance of honoring Juneteenth and actively supporting initiatives that promote financial education, wealth building opportunities, and economic empowerment within the African American community. So I'm going to wind down some and summarize the main point discussed in today's episode. I explored the historical impact of Juneteenth and its economic implication, and I focused on the following points: the Emancipation Proclamation and the Freedom Journey, delved into, President Abraham Lincoln Emancipation Proclamation, and highlighted the challenges faced by African Americans during their journey to freedom, including economic struggles for newly freed slaves. Then I talked about the emergence of Black-owned businesses and institutions. I explored how African Americans established their own enterprises during the Reconstruction era, despite obstacles like racial discrimination and segregation. These Black-owned businesses played a vital role in providing goods and services to their communities while promoting economic empowerment. And I concluded with the importance of financial education in the African American community. I talked about how financial education is crucial for empowering individuals within the African American community, equipping them with essential knowledge about personal finance, investment, and wealth building strategies, and mention ways Juneteenth promote financial empowerment and wealth building opportunities. I discussed how Juneteenth served as a platform for financial empowerment through workshops, entrepreneurship support, investment education, initiative, promoting community, wealth building project, and more. And as I conclude this podcast episode, it is crucial to recognize the significance of Juneteenth and its impact on economic empowerment within the African American community. So to honor Juneteenth and contribute to ongoing progress, here are some actionable steps for you, my listeners. Businesses. By consciously choosing to support Black-owned businesses, you can make a direct impact on the economic growth and success of African American entrepreneurs. Seek out local Black-owned establishments in your community. Patronize their products or services and spread the word about their businesses through social media or word of mouth. 2, pursue financial education. Take the initiative to educate yourself about personal finance, investment, budgeting, and other relevant topics. Attend financial workshops or seminars. Read books by financial experts from diverse backgrounds, and explore the, I would say, credible online resources that provide guidance on building wealth and achieving financial stability. 3, engage with local organizations or initiatives focus on economic empowerment within the African American community. Volunteer your time, skills, or resources to support programs that provide mentorship opportunities for aspiring entrepreneurs, offer financial literacy workshop, or create access to capital for underrepresented communities. 4, advocate for equitable policies. Use your voice and influence to advocate for policies that promote equal access to resources and opportunities in businesses and finance. Support legislative efforts aimed at reducing systemic barriers faced by minority entrepreneurs and fostering an inclusive entrepreneurial ecosystem. And 5, share knowledge and resources. Share what you have learned about financial education and the importance of supporting Black-owned businesses with others in your network. Encourage conversation about these topics within your family, friends, or social circle to raise awareness and inspire collective action toward economic empowerment. Remember that honoring Juneteenth extends beyond a single day of celebration. It requires sustained commitment throughout the year to effect real changes in creating a more equitable society. So let us embrace those call to action by actively supporting those Black businesses, pursuing financial education, and getting involved with local organizations or initiatives focused on economic empowerment within the African American community. So together we can create a future where economic opportunities are accessible to all. That is all I have for you today. And as you know, I like to end my show with a few wise words. And here they are. So as we reflect on the historical significance of Juneteenth, let us also consider its economic implications. It serves as a reminder that true freedom and equality requires not only social progress, but also economic justice. Now, I just want to take a moment to thank each one of you for tuning in today. Your time, interest, and trust are deeply appreciated. I hope you found this episode enlightening and useful in your journey to navigate the complex world where history intersects with empowerment within the African American community. Stay engaged, stay empowered, share this podcast, ignite a dialogue, and make a difference. So check out the links in the description to learn more, and let's keep this ball rolling. Stay tuned for more live show and podcasts covering a wide range of financial wellness topics. I will see you next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. I believe 8 p.m. Mountain time, 9 p.m. Central time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 11 p.m. Atlantic time, and noon Friday Brisbane, Australia time. Thank you for being here today on the Merging Life and Money Show. I am your host, Marie-Jo César. I will be back again next week. Until then, continue merging life and money. Bye for now.